Heaven in paradise, oh, that's where I want to be. Just you and me. In heaven in paradise.
Every house doesn't need a lawnmower. Come on. My name is Noelle Studer-Spivak. I live in Portland, Oregon, and I'm a community organizer. Cully Grove is a community of folks, 16 households. We built it in 2013, so it's pretty new. This is our second growing season. It's really hard to believe that just a year and a half ago, this was all bare soil. We have an emphasis on gardening and sharing. So we've got 16 families here with one lawnmower. That's great. We take turns mowing the lawn. We all have photovoltaic panels and solar hot water, and we do our best to conserve resources. But we're on a spectrum. Some people are really responsible and on top of conservation, and some people just like to be here because it's a community feel, and they're still learning a lot. It was really important to us to create an intergenerational community here because of the richness that comes from having 3 different generations interact with one another. And I think for the retired folks, it's great for them to still have the excitement and energy of kids running around, and yet they can also go in their house and close the door. It's really hard when you're by yourself in a single family home situation and you have to keep your children entertained all the time. I think they end up watching more TV and whining about being bored. Whereas here I just send kids outside and they just run around and play while I cook dinner. And there are always other adults around to care for them and let you know if something's wrong or help make sure that play is fair. And I think it's really an excellent way to raise children so they learn how to solve problems on their own. Our daughter, for example, she likes to pretend that she's holding meetings. And she'll be like, okay, first thing on the agenda. And she's 5. We also have an innovation called Breakfast Club, where we get elementary school kids from the community together to share breakfast. Parents know that it's really hard to make that transition in the morning to get your kids out the door, but somehow the peer pressure and everybody participating in the program, getting out the door together, it makes life a lot easier. The thing that's really cool about this arrangement is it doesn't have to be planned and regimented. Yeah. It can be oh, you've got your grill going. Can I put something on your grill too? Because everybody's out on their front porch, and usually what we do actually is we just set out a big picnic blanket at dinner time. And people join us. Somebody will bring out a salad, somebody brings out beans and rice.
What's your title again? What you do for a living?
I'm a mom.
So a big problem I've been encountering in the Northwest since moving here.
Wet shoes.
Wet shoes.
Wet shoes. Soph's right about the whole wet shoes deal.
Wet shoes.
Mainly the toes.
Wet socks.
Cold toes.
They don't dry, ever.
Taking your shoes off?
No avail.
It's a real problem.
My name is Ibrahim Mubar. I'm originally from Chicago, but I now reside in Portland, Oregon. You have Right to Dream too. This is a rest area for houseless people to come in and sleep safe, comfortably, and undisturbed from 8 to 12 hours. after reading the Code of Conduct, we give you information on Right to Survive, Right to Dream 2, and what we're doing. Plus, we have details up here on what's going on in our community and what's happening. So anyone that's interested in events or what's happening, they can see not just the houseless community, but for the house as well. This is our common area where people come in to sit and chat and read and think and talk, okay? This is where single women sleep. This is where single men sleep. This is our sleeping bag area. After one person sleep in them, they spray them with tea tree oil, Lysol, vinegar, and water. Then we put them in this big case right here, and that's how they know when to wash them. We got electric kitchen. Anything is good when you're hungry, right? This is our dish area where people wash their own dishes. And sometimes we have an organizer that do it, or have dishes is left over. Like if the people that's not member eating there come and do the dishes. This is our donation area in case somebody come in with a bad back or something, or a pregnant woman or someone is feeling sick. We let them use a mattress. This is our empowerment center. They come in and look on the computers. They check their email. They look for work. They look for housing. We also pay for our own internet service. This is separate from the other rest area. These are members here. When they become members, they agree that they want to be taught how to become activists and speak up for themselves. So we empower them and educate them on their 3 rights: human, constitutional, and civil rights. And then they go back into the community and teach the houseless people. Then the houseless people teach the other houseless people. Anybody can come to our meetings and participate. And it's better that way because then we really know what's going on to the streets. You also must actively look for housing and work in order to be a member. Everybody have their pest problem. We have rats since we outside and people eat. We try to teach people to be earth friendly here. So we have feral cats to chase them away. It works instead of putting chemicals. We also find old bike parts and we fix them up. All houseless people don't have the type of money to get transportation, so we lease out our bike. The only agreement, you bring our bike back. If you don't, you can't utilize our services. We teach them how to compost. It should be closed. We recycle cans and we take them back. They bring money back here. We try to keep everybody equal. They just have different responsibilities. We write grants, we do fundraising activities, and we sell things. The city or the government don't help us with none of our operational costs. So as a fundraiser, we said, buy a door for a year, put anything you want on it, just as long as it has a houseless theme.
I'm Brian from Tucson, Arizona. I'm an environmental educator and a resident of Milagro CoHousing.
My name is Lydia. I'm from Tucson, Arizona, and I live in Milagro CoHousing.
I'm Clara Bell, and I work... I don't work anywhere. I'm Maya, and I don't work anywhere except my art shop and when I sell my quail eggs.
Milagro is tied into the grid from the local power utility, and we get our electricity from them. But 13 homes, almost half of the community, has solar electric panels on their roof.
You can make that 14 houses because we kind of recently put, now our quail coop is solar powered.
The quail coop is solar powered. The homes are specially designed to take advantage of the climate here and the sun. All of our water goes to our own wetlands, and it's a pretty beautiful system. We have 3 cells in the ground where the gray and black water drains down. Microbes in the soil eat the bacteria, and then we pump that clean water back up into the community, and we have fruit trees. And there's some number of pounds per person that we're growing here, but every time that those fruits come into harvest, we send out an email, and the community comes out, and people pick what they want. And we harvested 3 laundry baskets of grapefruit. Also, in terms of waste, it's not just water, but we have people here who are really committed to trying to lower the amount of waste that we generate. We have a committee that recycles styrofoam, and they drive it to a place here in town that reuses that. We have appliances that get picked up, and we have a thrift store that we set up once a year for free. People just come and take things that neighbors don't want anymore. So we're really trying hard to not generate a lot of extra waste. We call it a common house. It's kind of like a neighborhood clubhouse. It's open for any resident's use. One of the taglines of Milagro is living in balance with nature, which, is an impossible chore. We've done a lot of things here intentionally and a lot of experimentation to try to live more lightly on the land, and a lot of that's not cheap nor easy, especially when you're trying to live in consensus where 28 households have to agree on everything.
It's much harder to collaborate than it is to just do your own thing. We've seen community meetings that completely break down, are very dysfunctional. And we've also seen that change. People have learned how to be a part of community, have learned how to be respectful of other people's opinions. Nobody, loves giving up their Sunday morning in order to be in a community meeting, but nonetheless, they can be pleasant experiences where people really are effective at making decisions. And that happens with time and with practice.
Why are you living this way?
For the kids.
It's really for the kids.
For the kids.
And I know that's a kind of a cop-out because I don't want to send the message that if we didn't have kids, well, hell no, we wouldn't be doing this.
What is it like living here?
It's really fun. I think one of my favorite parts is that we can go outside whenever we want, and we don't really have to have anyone with us. It's just really fun here because there's a lot of room to play, and there's a lot of people to play with.
It really means a lot to be in a community like that. And we've lived in several neighborhoods where it wasn't co-housing, and we didn't know our neighbors at all. In this place, you need a ride to the airport, you send an email, you have 5 offers in 10 minutes. And so that really means a lot.
Speaking about, too, this transition from what some people call the American dream. I think what's important in that is this idea that we have to be individuals. We have to have our own stuff. We have to have our own identities. We have to be detached from community and many times detached from family too. So it's this strong sense of individualism, which is, kind of one of our core cultural values, I guess. And co-housing kind of It's what makes it hard, but also very rewarding, is it kind of is a friction against that. Sometimes you explain to people what co-housing is about and what it's like, and people say, "Oh, I couldn't do that," And really, what it is they're speaking to is having many times to set aside your own priorities and your own desires in order to be accommodating of being in community, of recognizing other people's differences of opinion, differences of needs and wants, and reconciling that with your own.
A group of houseless people put their money together and painted this because police swept, came in and take all their stuff in the wintertime and throw it away, and they don't have nothing. If you catch pneumonia for living out in the street, you go to the hospital, they give you the proper medicine, and they put you right back into the streets, and that way you never get healed because you're going back into that cold weather. The best country, the richest country in the world, why are the people sleeping on sidewalks and being criminalized for exercising their rights? That's why I don't believe in the American dream.
Gonna cook her right up. My hope is that this doesn't end when you leave or turn off the computer. I hope that it continues on and people can actually do something with the stuff that we talked about.